All right, let's get one thing straight. This isn't just another list of life hacks you're going to forget tomorrow. Think of this as, well, an expedition. We're about to explore 10 hard truths that, honestly, most people spend their entire lives running from. Why? Because they're uncomfortable. But here's the secret. Accepting them, that's what gives you a real strategic edge for the rest of your life. So you ready? Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? It's that pit in your stomach when you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, putting in the hours, checking all the boxes, but you feel like you're stuck in mud, just watching everyone else climb past you. See, the maps they sell you at the start of the journey, the ones with all the easy slogans and quick fixes, they're junk. They don't show you the real mountain. They don't prepare you for those sheer rock faces that test your courage, or the sudden storms that just make you want to quit. And they definitely don't mention those quiet moments of doubt that whisper, hey, maybe you should just turn back. That is the real climb we're talking about today.
So to help us navigate this, we're going to follow the story of a guy named Arjun. Think of him as our guide. At 21, he's in college, you know the type, can pull an all-nighter and ace a final, no problem. But ask him to build a consistent study habit, forget about it. He's got all this raw ambition, but he's totally paralyzed by the fear of letting his family down. Now, fast forward to age 34. He's a mid-level manager. He's competent, sure, but he's exhausted, he's burnt out, and he's wondering where all that potential he had just went. Arjun's story is basically our story, right? It's that constant battle between what's safe and comfortable and what growth actually demands from us.
Yeah, Arjun's journey is going to lay it all out for us. We'll see exactly what happens when you ignore these truths and, more importantly, what becomes possible when you finally embrace them. Look, this isn't about judging anyone. It's about giving you the real map, the one for the actual terrain, not the cheap souvenir you buy in the gift shop. So let's start the climb.
Okay, first part of the climb. This is all about the foundation. Before you can go anywhere, you have to build this. It's about creating a mindset of complete and total ownership. Psychologists have a word for it: agency.
And here it is, truth number one. And this one can sting a little. No one is coming to save you. Look, your parents, your friends, your partner, they can cheer you on, they can give you advice, but they cannot carry the weight of your life for you. That is all on you. And listen, that's not supposed to sound cynical. It's the opposite. It's the bedrock of empowerment.
So that idea has a name. It's called personal agency. A psychologist named Albert Bandura really pioneered this. And all it really means is believing, truly believing, that your choices and your actions are what shape your reality. When you get that, deep down, everything changes. You stop waiting around for someone to give you permission, and you just start. You see problems not as walls, but as puzzles you get to figure out.
But let's be real for a second, okay? This is a really important point. Having agency doesn't mean you pretend the world is some perfectly fair place. It's not. There are real structural barriers, economic inequality, bias, just plain old bad luck. Those things exist. The point isn't to deny them. The point is to act with strategic power within those constraints. It's all about focusing relentlessly on the things you can control, no matter how small they might seem at first.
Okay, so once you accept that you're the architect of your own life, you immediately run into a new problem: your own head. That brings us to truth number two. Life doesn't care about your feelings. Now, hear me out. Your feelings are real. They are absolutely valid signals, but they are not your boss. The world doesn't hit pause just because you don't feel like it today. Progress is built on action, not on emotion.
So you have a choice, really. You can treat your feelings as data, like signals you need to decode. Are you tired? Anxious? Just putting things off? That's super valuable information. It helps you figure out the root cause. Or you can treat your feelings as directions, as commands you just have to obey. I feel overwhelmed, so I'm not going to do anything. See the difference? One is strategic, the other is giving your emotions a veto over your entire life. This was a huge one for Arjun. When he let his mood decide his mornings, his progress was all over the place. But when he built a non-negotiable ritual, just 45 minutes of deep work before anything else, his output, and guess what? Eventually his mood totally stabilized.
All right, this next one, this is a tough part of the climb for a lot of people because it messes with our sense of loyalty. Truth number three, not everyone is meant to stay in your life. The people around you aren't just a passive audience to your life story, no way. They're an active force, shaping your energy, your standards, your ambition. And the really hard truth is that not everyone who started this climb with you is actually equipped for the summit you're aiming for.
So what do? You have to become a conscious curator of your inner circle. It's that simple. Here's a practical way to start. Just audit your interactions. For the next 30 days, just notice.
After you hang out with someone, do you feel energized and capable? Or do you feel small and drained? Next, you build what I call a boundaries toolkit. This isn't about being cruel or cutting people off. It's just about strategically protecting your focus. And finally, you have to actively seek out people that pull you forward. Mentors and peers who actually challenge you to level up. Your climb literally depends on it.
Okay, so we've got the foundation of agency in place. Now it's time to build the engine. This next part is all about the mechanics of progress, the gritty, day-to-day work that actually moves you up the mountain.
Here's truth number 4. Smart doesn't win. Consistent does. We are absolutely obsessed with this myth of the lone genius, right? The person who has a sudden flash of brilliance that changes the world. But let's get real. Geniuses might get the headlines, but it's the consistent people who build the empires. The evidence is overwhelming. Small, focused, daily actions, they compound into unbelievable results. Consistency is the engine of mastery. Period.
And this right here was the game changer for Arjun. His old way of doing things? The heroic all-nighter. It looks impressive, sure, but it was always followed by a week of total burnout with zero progress. His new method was so simple it felt like cheating. 45 minutes of uninterrupted, focused work on his most important thing every single day, no excuses. And guess what? Within 6 months, that quiet, steady drumbeat of daily work had created more results than all his frantic, caffeine-fueled sprints combined.
Okay, truth number 5. You are the problem. You are the solution. I know that sounds like an accusation. But it's not. It's actually the key to your freedom. This isn't about blame, it's about power. Think about it. As long as the problem is out there, it's your boss, it's the economy, it's the system, you're a victim. You have no power. But the second you say, wait a minute, I'm the variable here, you instantly shift from complaining to creating.
So, when Arjun got passed over for a promotion he was sure he deserved, his first reaction was that classic cocktail of blame, right? It's office politics, my boss is unfair, the timing was bad. But then he had a second thought, a much harder one. He decided to own the gap. He actually scheduled a meeting with his boss, asked for brutally honest feedback, and looked at his own performance with clear eyes. And what he realized was he wasn't doing a good job of communicating his value. So he owned that problem. He made a plan to fix it, and at the next review cycle, he was undeniable. That's the shift. That is moving from blame to power.
All right, so we have our foundation of agency, we have our engine of consistency. This final part of our climb is about taking that internal strength and applying it to the outside world, which is, let's face it, incredibly noisy. We're talking about the pressures to conform and the constant digital distractions.
And that brings us to truth number 8. Most people do not think for themselves. Look, it's not really their fault. We are wired to conform. For thousands of years, fitting in literally meant survival. Following the herd saved energy and kept you from getting eaten. But in our world, the herd almost always hangs out in the fields of mediocrity. The real opportunities, the big breakthroughs, they are always off the beaten path. So developing the discipline to think for yourself when everyone else is just going with the flow, that gives you an almost unfair advantage.
Just look at the two paths here. You've got herd behavior on one side. The goal? Safety, belonging. The method? Copying what everyone else does. And the outcome? The path of least resistance. Then you have independent thought. The goal there is totally different. It's about advantage. It's about accuracy. The method is to synthesize information for yourself and have the courage to disagree. And the outcome? Well, that's the path of greatest opportunity. When everyone at his company was chasing some trendy new job title, Arjun actually did his homework. He realized it was all sizzle, no steak. So he took a boring job instead, one with real responsibility. And that became his big career breakthrough.
Okay, truth number 9, and this one is for all of us. What you do online is who you are becoming. Let's be brutally honest here. Your phone is not some neutral tool. It's not. Every single scroll, every click, every notification, it's an act of training. You're either training your brain to be distracted and shallow, or you're training it for focus and deep learning. There is no middle ground. Your feed isn't just reflecting your interests, it is actively programming your future self. What you consume, you become. It's that simple.
And that leads us to our final truth, number 10. And honestly, this one kind of governs the whole climb. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Your brain's number one job is to keep you alive. That means it craves safety, predictability, comfort. But growth, by its very definition, does not live in the comfort zone. Progress demands that you voluntarily step into managed discomfort. That feeling of being stretched, that's not a sign you're failing. That is the feeling of growth. Now, the goal isn't just to suffer for the sake of it. Of course not. It's about finding that sweet spot, that zone of optimal stretch. It's inspired by something called the Yerkes-Dodson law, and it's that perfect space just beyond what you can currently do. It's where you're challenged enough to learn, but not so totally overwhelmed that you just shut down. Arjun was terrified of public speaking, but he took a job that forced him to give weekly presentations. The first few, they were brutal. But that consistent, intentional discomfort completely rewired his brain. Staying comfortable would have protected his ego, sure, but it would have cost him his entire career.
So there you have it. We've charted the terrain. We've looked these hard truths square in the eye. But I want to be clear, this isn't the summit. These truths aren't a destination you just arrive at. They're a compass, a new map that you carry with you on the journey, which never really ends. The real expedition, it starts right now.
So as you look at this new map, this new way of seeing the mountain in front of you, there's really only one question left that matters. It's the one right there. What is the first step? That one small, deliberate step that you will take on your climb?